The concentration of creative ideas and talent is extremely high here at Con Astana Festival. This attraction point for geek culture enthusiasts has gathered creators of iconic comics, video games and movies, actors and bloggers and their fans. What makes this kind of event popular is not only the entertainment factor, but also communication with people who share the same passions.
Наверное, большой комьюнити, потому что она объединяет в себе не только вот тему.
It's a huge community because it involves not just computer games, anime and stuff like that. It's way bigger.
Такое масштабное, большое. В последнее время этого становится все больше, и это здорово, то что...
And it has been growing more and more lately, which is nice. It's great that people have this common interest.
Разве не так? Даже так.
The festival's significance and popularity can be assessed in figures. More than 70,000 people visited the 3-day marathon of creativity in Kazakh capital.
In fact, the Con Astana organizing committee is absolutely shocked this year. We did not expect the demand to be so high, although of course we did prepare thoroughly. There's a big team here. We accepted applications from all over the world and noticed the highest activity among European professional cosplayers from Italy and Spain. Our international guests arrived here to participate, and some even became the jury members. Out of 300 applications submitted, 162 were selected, and 40% of the registered participants are foreigners. The rest are locals from all over Kazakhstan.
One of the key competitions at Comic-Con festivals around the world is cosplay. It implies the demonstration of a costume as close to the original as possible. Characters' unique body movement, facial expressions, and personality must be conveyed in detail and with the highest accuracy.
I'm a huge fan of fashion shows, and I love it when people put efforts to create their costumes themselves. It's really fascinating.
Здорово. Интересно наблюдать.
Professional cosplayers from 5 countries competed for the prize pool, which amounted to 10 million tenge this year. But the most important prize, after all, was audiences' recognition.
It takes 6 months to make such a costume, but I managed to do that in 3. One day, I realized that I had to start doing cosplay because I love dressing up as different characters since childhood.
Those who don't admire or understand cosplay may find it childish. It might seem rather strange that adults dress up and portray different characters. But in fact, such transformation requires quite serious amount of work. The complete look is created by hand and takes not only imagination but a great deal of mastery. Various skills are involved here: cutting and sewing, makeup, drawing, ability to work with various materials for different costume parts. So it's a completely unique piece of work. I created it myself from scratch without any kind of technology, fueled purely by my enthusiasm. I've slept 3-4 hours at most for a few weeks, and the last couple of days have been sleepless entirely, but we're here, we did it, and it's great. Comic cons or comic conventions are important for comics and pop culture fans for many reasons. Besides the obvious ones such as economic benefits, promotion of comics and sci-fi genre innovations, and creative industry development, there's also another equally important reason: understanding the youth.
Для меня, как для мамы маленькой дочери, хочется понимать.
As a mother of a little girl, I want to understand what language our modern children speak and what content they consume every day. And in order to understand what my child is thinking about, it is important to experience it myself. It definitely gives us adults the opportunity to bond with our children, understand their passions, interests, who they want to look up to and communicate with. At this day and age, when digital content consumption is huge in our lives, it's almost impossible to limit the content a child gets. However, we have the opportunity to at least adjust the angles and show the other side, the creative content. That, for example, you can take part in a cosplay contest, create your own costume, participate as an amateur cosplayer and then get to the professional level, and even attend festivals.
И потом на профессиональный, ходить по фестивалям.
Cosplay as a form of self-expression has value beyond obtaining victory, fame, or establishing reputation in the community.
Мне понравился персонаж, как
I like this character because of his personal qualities. He's charismatic and famous. There are also lots of popular memes with him. Thanks to memes, I realized that it's important to entertain people, and if you choose a famous character, people will recognize and approach you, take pictures. That's cool.
тебя будут все узнавать, с тобой будут фотографироваться.
Конечно же, все хотят...
Of course, everyone wants to win, but the most important thing is that we all meet here and have the opportunity to give people excitement, that feeling they get when they go to a game or watch a movie for the first time. Here they can experience it again.
Сюда, они смогут почувствовать это снова.
Comic-Con festivals shape the culture of video games, comics, movies, and literature. They increase the popularity of contemporary fiction and art. Cosplay allows participants to delve deeper into the worlds and characters they admire. But in addition to this, it also helps participants to express themselves, or to use the trending word, manifest themselves in this world.
Я делал что-то
I had been engaged in something similar even before I found out about the cosplay community. Cosplay makes me really happy. I decided that doing what I love is the best thing to do, and I wish the same to everyone. Find yourselves.
И всем желаю того же. Найдите себя.
The main values of Con Astana Festival are inspiration and motivation. But besides these rather ephemeral values, there are also quite practical and measurable ones. Con Astana Festival is a driver of economic growth for the city. It provides profit for local businesses and prompts creative industry development.
Мы видим в целом, да, на...
We can see that this format, this kind of events, serve as a great stimulus for creative industry development. Many creative content makers understand that platforms such as Comic-Con establish excellent conditions for demonstration of their talents. Here you can most certainly find potential partners among international studios and meet like-minded people who are also driven by the idea of creating something new and keeping up with the times.
которые также горят идеей создавать что-то новое, идти в тренде.
One of the novelties of this year is the Pop Age Zone located on the first floor of our building. It's a hot spot for K-pop and J-pop fans and a popular zone in general. There is also a zone called Content, supported by TikTok, the official partner of this zone, which has provided special platforms for creating interesting and beautiful content for our bloggers and influencers.
Контента для наших блогеров, инфлюенсеров.
Comic-Con also provided educational opportunities through panel discussions, workshops, and lectures. Such educational zones were consistently popular during all 3 days of the festival.
В рамках нашего фестиваля проводится очень полезный...
There are really useful and interesting masterclasses held at the festival. For example, 3D modeling and iPad drawing trainings in computer zones, or original masterclasses held in the lecture hall every hour aimed at development of knowledge in the comics industry.
которые помогают развиваться в целом в комикс-индустрии, да.
So that people would understand the basics, cool trends, how they can form an idea and develop a creative product. As you can see, in addition to beautiful visuals of the festival, we've also worked really hard on the content.
Плодотворно работали над наполнением самого фестиваля.
Like all similar festivals in the world, Comic-Con Astana became a platform for announcing the upcoming movies, TV series, video games, and comics. This is the place where major producers reveal their plans and present new projects. Our publishing house translates world bestsellers into Kazakh language. Series of Harry Potter books is a hallmark among our projects. During 4 years of our work, we have translated more than 100 world bestsellers, including the Chronicles of Narnia, and Percy Jackson, another famous series of books, is to be published soon. The festival platform not only provides an opportunity to discover new products, but also to meet industry players and learn more about the companies that produce different kinds of content. I think such events greatly help to disprove certain myths about language and books. Or, on the contrary, they help to reach a new audience to whom you can promote it. You can tell why it's interesting and useful, which is what we are doing now and what we will do for the next 3 days here. Today many people approached us and showed interest. Many of them didn't know that a huge number of books had already been translated into Kazakh. Among the participants there were also foreign guests who were interested in this practice. Nowadays, reading is not the most popular leisure activity. Nevertheless, people who prefer to read and are more interested in books do exist. Of course, books in the native language are always more understandable and engaging. The demand exists, but we keep working to increase it further, because very few people know and understand the importance of reading these books in Kazakh and why it's so special. It makes you perceive the book characters in a new light, because you read it in your native tongue. Being a huge Potterhead myself, I have several Harry Potter books, a collection in English, 2 collections in Russian. But only when I read it in Kazakh, I finally realized that Hagrid was not a very smart man, he was a bit illiterate. And such things are most often discovered because native language is closer to you. You can get a much deeper understanding of the text in your native tongue rather than in other languages. It's not just information that you grasp, but experiences and deeper meaning. The first official Comic-Con took place back in 1964 in New York City. The most famous Comic-Con to date is held in San Diego, and this year marks the second time that the festival was hosted in Astana.
Astana City Administration immediately showed their support, especially Astana Development Center, which directly participated in the organization of this event. We are very grateful to them for supporting our unconventional ideas and events.
идей, форматов и мероприятий.
Participating in Comic-Con can inspire young creators and help them find their place in the industry. Many successful professionals started their careers at such events. Comic-Con is a great place to meet people, or rather characters that inspire you, whom you admire and love to watch. Comic-Con helps people discover who they are and express themselves. Going to the theater or cinema and seeing all these characters, you wonder how great it would be to see them live. And all of that is possible at Comic-Con. It's amazing.